In the age of long ships and iron oaths, when kingdoms rose from blood and fire, there lived a man who did not seek to wear a crown. He sought to break them. His name was Egil Skallagrimsson, warrior, skald, outlaw, and the Viking who hunted kings. He was born in Iceland in the 10th century, into a family already marked by exile and defiance. His father had fled the growing power of Norwegian rulers. His bloodline did not trust kings, it survived them. By the age of 7, Egil had already killed, not in battle, not in war, but in a fit of cold, calculated fury after losing a game. The other boy mocked him. Egil picked up an axe and ended the insult permanently. This was not childish rage, it was a glimpse of something deeper. As he grew, so did his reputation. Egil was not merely strong. Many Vikings were strong. He was intelligent. He remembered insults. He calculated revenge. He chose when and where to strike. Most warriors fought in ranks. Egil hunted individually. His greatest enemy would become Erik Bloodaxe, a king as ruthless as his name suggested. Erik had claimed the throne of Norway through violence, even killing his own brothers to secure power. But Egil did not bow. Their feud began with politics and family disputes, but it transformed into something far more dangerous. Egil's kin were targeted, lands were seized, loyalties tested, and Egil responded not with submission, but with pursuit. He attacked royal allies, ambushed loyalists, burned estates connected to the crown, not in grand battlefield confrontations, but in precise, punishing strikes. A king commands armies, but a hunter chooses the moment. At one point, Egil was captured and sentenced to death by Erik Bloodaxe himself. The execution was set for dawn. Most men would beg. Egil composed poetry. Through the night, he crafted a praise poem so powerful, so masterfully constructed, that by morning the king hesitated. In Viking culture, poetry was sacred. Words shaped honor. Egil recited his verses before the very man who intended to kill him, and Erik spared his life, not out of mercy, out of respect, and perhaps fear, because Egil proved something terrifying. He could not be controlled by force. He could not be silenced by execution. He was unpredictable, and unpredictability is what kings fear most. Egil sailed across the North Atlantic, through England, Norway, and the Baltic. He fought as a mercenary. He served foreign rulers. He accumulated silver and enemies in equal measure. But wherever power grew arrogant, Egil challenged it. He did not build an empire. He destabilized them. Unlike legendary conquerors who carved borders into maps, Egil carved warnings into memory. His story survives in the Icelandic sagas, passed down generations. Some details blur between myth and history, but the pattern remains clear. He targeted influence. He confronted authority. He stood in royal halls and insulted rulers to their faces, and walked out alive. This was not the chaos of a berserker lost in rage. It was something colder. Egil understood that kings were human. They bled. They feared. They calculated survival just like everyone else. And when a ruler met a man who had nothing to lose, their power weakened. In the Viking Age, loyalty defined survival. Most warriors tied themselves to jarls and kings for protection and wealth. Egil remained untamed. He served when it suited him. He rebelled when it did not. He composed poetry celebrating victory one day and plotted revenge the next. That independence made him dangerous beyond measure, because a man without allegiance is a weapon without a handle. As he aged, Egil's fury did not fade. He buried sons. He mourned through verse. He wrestled with grief the same way he faced enemies, with intensity that shook those around him. Even in old age, blind and scarred, his presence commanded silence. He did not die on a battlefield. He did not fall to a king. He outlived many who sought to control him, and that may be the greatest proof of all. He hunted kings and survived them. The Viking Age was filled with conquerors. Names like Harold, Sweyn, and Canute shaped Europe, but Egil Skallagrimsson left a different legacy. He proved that power does not only sit on thrones. Sometimes it walks into the throne room uninvited. Sometimes it carries an axe in one hand and poetry in the other. And sometimes the most dangerous man in the North is not the one wearing the crown, but the one who fears nothing it represents.